Hey there beautiful souls, Avalon here, and today I wanted to talk to you about 5 things that I love about off-grid living and 5 things that I absolutely detest about off-grid living. So these particular 5 and 5s are in relation to my specific off-grid living situation. So anybody who lives off-grid, of course, is set up very differently, and so we are set up in one way, the next off-gridder will be set up in a different way, and so this is very specific to the particular situation. One of the things that I absolutely love about off-grid living here in Tasmania specifically is that I get to use a fire. We are able to source all of our wood locally on our 28 acres. We don't cut down trees, we simply acquire fallen trees, we chop them all up, we store them, and then we use them. And I have a beautiful Essie wood stove in which I utilize to cook, to heat the house, to make my toast in the morning, all those yummy little things. And I think it's a really simple and a really sweet way to sort of heat yourself and cook, and it creates such a lovely sort of woody kind of aroma. That's one thing that I really love. The second thing that I really love is all of the space. I love all of this space. We've got 28 acres, but I don't often walk around in the 28 acres. I walk around in the 2.5 acres that are cleared, and then a little bit this way and a little bit that way, you know, just to stretch it out. And I love coming out every morning and brushing my teeth on the outside water tank and just looking around at all of this space and all of these beautiful trees and all of this nature, and I feel really connected to it. So that is number 2. That's number 2. Number 3 would have to be the fresh, clean water. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water tanks. We have 6 water tanks, and we harness all of our rainwater. We make good use of all of that roof space, have gutterings on everything, and collect the rainwater. It enters into our water tanks, and it has a nice little fine filter over the top, which we have to clean regularly, of course. And then we are left with this most perfect, clean, delicious, cool, fresh water. And it's water that doesn't need to be ultra filtered. It's water that hasn't gone through all the yucky taps, and it's water that has come straight from the sky, and it's water that is so nourishing and so refreshing. Like when you have a drink of this water, you feel like it's something that should cost more than it actually does, but in fact it costs nothing. And I love it, and I'm like guzzling the water. So I drink heaps and heaps of water down here, and I just love it. The quality of water here is absolutely amazing. I just love it. The 4th thing that I really love about off-grid living is the elements of self-sufficiency and the room that we have to grow what we need. We have space to put in seeds, and we have the opportunity to grow much of what we love to eat. We're living now in a temperate climate, and all of our yummy favorite fruits and veggies come from temperate climates, so it makes sense that we've moved down here and we are making the most of that. So we have planted carrots, we have planted broccoli, we have planted peas, we have cherries growing, we have apples growing, potatoes are growing, we have peaches, we have quince, we have so many beautiful yummy fruits and vegetables growing, and we get to reap the rewards of that. So I am so grateful for the land that offers us all of this amazing food that we love to eat, and it's all free. And the 5th thing that I really love about off-grid living is the fact that we are able to run our households and all of our electronics and all of our good yummy powered up things off solar panels. So we harness solar energy, and that is what we use to power all of our equipment, and it's so nice to be that connected to the sun in a very positive way. And I've got to tell you that when we came down here first and it was the middle of winter, these were very small solar days, and we really had to conserve the power, and yet I didn't feel impacted at all, not adversely at least, by the fact that we had to be very cautious with our power usage. And now that the solar days are increasing, we can be a little bit more frivolous with our solar panels and with our energy in that way, because our shower and our kitchen tap are run on a pump, which is an electric pump, and that uses a lot of power, so now we don't have to really worry about the length of showers that we have to have and moderating our usage of the power as much as we did in the midst of winter. Alright, so they're the 5 things that I really love about living off-grid. The 5 things that I really hate about living off-grid is cleaning the compost toilet. Yes, I have to clean the compost toilet, and every 3 days I have to empty out the wee section of the compost toilet. And so that is something that I have to handle, right? My husband helps me with the main compost, the human manure aspect of it, but I alone deal with the wee. And it is annoying because no matter what the weather's doing, I still have to walk outside of that perimeter and dispose of the wee thoughtfully. It doesn't get tipped down a drain or anything like that, and it certainly doesn't get dumped in our particular 2.5 acres of cleared area. So that is something that I find really annoyed by often, because sometimes it could be so cold and really rainy and even a little bit of snow, and I'm like, oh, I've got to empty out the wee. In fact, as I mentioned this, I will be emptying out the wee after I make this video, and I'm just like procrastinating now. Okay, so that's the number 1 thing that I really don't like about off-grid living. And the second thing that I really don't like about off-grid living is the fact that every time I want to have a shower or every time I want to wash the dishes, there's this noisy pump that I have to contend with, and then I have to be hyper conscious of the fact that that pump is also using a lot of electricity, which is coming from our solar panels. So that perpetual awareness of that situation makes me hurry and rush. And so when I'm giving the kids a shower, I'm like, 1 minute, and it's a bit anxious and it's a bit hectic, and that is something that I really don't like. So I would like to be able to either move to a solar pump or get a larger water tank that is gravity fed to our house. That way we can just completely step over the fact that we don't have to run a pump, and we can just, get on with our lives in a really constructive way. The third thing that I don't like about off-grid living is that it is constantly muddy at the moment. Like everywhere I go, it's muddy. It's just muddy. It's muddy here, it's muddy there. If I need to go anywhere around the property, I have to be wearing these Wellington boots, these galoshes, and it goes squish, squish, squish. And now that I have the wellies, I don't mind so much. But beforehand, I was struggling. My shoes were getting really muddy. Everything was getting muddy. That mud, by the way, it's not actually walking through the mud that bothers me. It's the fact that everybody walks through the mud, and then they get into the car and put their muddy feet all over the car, and then they walk into the house and put their muddy feet all over the ground, and it's just mud all the time. Everywhere. It's like so muddy. It's so muddy. And I'm a bit of a neat freak and a little bit of a tidy person and a little bit of a germaphobe at the same time, so my brain sees mud and goes, eee! So yes, the mud. So that was number 3. Number 4, yeah, that's number 4, would be the fact that we need more water tanks, and we have actually run out of water in one of our primary water tanks, which means that we had to go up to the witch's cottage to continuously have a shower. We didn't actually run out of water on the property at all, but the tank that actually feeds our shower and our kitchen tap completely ran out of water. We had to transfer it to the small tap. It went through a bit of a sunny period, which was quite nice from a temperature point of view, but it also meant that we weren't getting enough water to replenish the water that we are using. So we actually do need many more water tanks for the number of people that are living here, but this is a case that has been observed and we know exactly what we need to do, so this is something that we can actually fix, and that's a positive. And that will also feed into the fact that we can then bypass the pump and gravity feed water, so more tanks, more water, just a nicer experience again. And now the 5th thing that I really don't like about off-grid living, especially in this situation, is that our bathroom and our shower are actively separate from our main house. So we need to walk out of our tiny home and we need to go to the bathroom and the shower, and it's out there. And so rain, hail or shine, we don't actually have to walk in any of the weather, but it is significantly cooler outside. And when you have a shower hey puppy, when you have a shower and it's nice and hot and you step out and it's really cold, the room is really cold, it's really annoying, and it's really like, oh, it's an assault on the senses. And then when you are toasty and warm and you're in bed and you just need to get up and do a sneaky nighttime wee, well, too bad, love. You have to put on your jacket, you have to put on your boots, you have to rug up, walk out with a torch, and make sure that there are no crazy animals around, and make your way to the bathroom and do your business, right? So that's a little bit like sometimes. So there you have it, folks. I just thought I'd share this fun little 5 and 5 things that I love about off-grid living, and 5 things that I really don't like about off-grid living, but I am elegantly coping with. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it around, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content like this one here, because I am now living off-grid and I want to be able to share that with you guys. Much love, many blessings. Mwah! See ya!